as you can see in the back over there, there's actually deer. That's pretty cool. I've never seen them at this time. Hi, I'm Aiman. Welcome back to my gardening videos. This is part 2 of the gardening updates for the week of June 10th. And we decided to split this video into 2 parts because we saw that was getting a bit too long. We're actually about to talk about these Asian pears. So, let's do it. The Asian pear trees are a prominent feature of my channel. I've done many videos on them. I've even done redundant videos on them, recovering them. But over here you can see that there's not a lot of Asian pears showing up, and even though there aren't a lot showing up, the reason why is because of the frost in May. We've had frost in May that have caused not a lot of fruits to show up. Even though we haven't had many fruits show up, there are still some fruits. You can see over here there is still some fruits showing up. It looks like that frost in May really did a number to these trees, because over here we usually get like 50 pounds of harvest from this tree. But you can see there's barely anything. And you can actually see over there, there's a bird's nest. That's pretty cool. Actually, we've had a wasp's nest on one of these trees. That was scary. You should check out that video. I'm not sure we have it, but that's pretty cool. But if we do end up getting a lot of fruits for these trees, we will recover them or mention them in our future videos. So over here we have our eggplants and our beans. So these eggplants are for ratatouille in the future. I seem to hear a hose leaking. We're gonna get that fixed later. But over here we have some more peppers growing. You can see that they're increasing in height quite a lot. I don't actually see any peppers on here. We're gonna go over, looks like there's another leaf over there that we're gonna first place. It looks like our zucchinis are going massive, and so are the other tires. Like I said before, we usually like replant zucchinis in groups of 3 so that they don't keep dying off. So we're gonna check back on those next week. And finally, we're gonna end up at our tomato plants. Our tomatoes seem to be doing quite well. They're growing very much. This one's growing super tall. Eventually it's gonna be taller than me. And I think actually that's where we can end off this video. Alright, so I take that back. This is actually not the end of the video. We have more plants over there, which we'll get to. But before we go, over here we have some potatoes growing. We're actually not doing it the way that you're supposed to. According to my dad, the way you're supposed to plant these potatoes is have a tire with the original potatoes, like this, sort of. But as they keep growing, you add another tire, and then you add more soil onto it as it keeps growing. And I guess that makes sense because potatoes are tubers, so they grow in the ground. But I guess we're just rolling with it. Let's go over to the other side of the garden. I think we're going to check out our raspberries, our bamboo, and any other miscellaneous plants we might have. Okay, so it looks like we have more tomatoes here. We have a different kind of trellis here. I mean, we have it, so we might as well use it. More tomatoes. It looks like our raspberries are actually growing quite well. So the raspberries are down here. And our bamboo over here is also growing quite tall. I forgot to mention it, but the bamboo over there on the riverside is also growing quite nice. That was a project from, I forget actually, was that last summer? I think that was last summer. And as you can see, it was well worth it because the riverside looks very nice. I can't say the same for the neighbor, who looks like he hasn't really maintained it, but it looks like our side of the river looks pretty nice. But anyway, on going back, it looks like our sunflowers haven't been doing too well. It looks like they've been eaten. I think I mentioned that in my last video. You can see that the remnants of woodland creatures have come to take our sunflowers away. That's alright, they're an invasive species. Alright, so my dad has just informed me that some of these plants are actually not Jerusalem artichoke sunflowers, but corn. So keep that in mind. Maybe we'll see some corn sprouting up, some ears. And in the back here, you might see my dad. There's a ton of dirt. And that's actually a project that my dad's been working on. He's been taking some of the grass-topped dirt and putting it other places. For example, under our canopy, which hasn't had grass growing that well. So now we have to replant some grass over here, but it looks like it's gonna grow way better on this side rather than like under the canopy. You might see in the back there, we actually moved our cat house. Maybe it'll go over there. We moved our cat house from near our house to near these trees. And that's good because one, it's under the shade, and two, it's also away from the house because a lot of flies come out in the summer, and we feed our cats, obviously. So the flies aren't gonna go near our house. So now let's go over to the other side of the back here. Oh, and over here we have some blackberries. This one, however, it looks like there's a bit of flowering. But on the other side here, we actually have a huge blackberry bush. And it looks like it's flowering and it's leafing quite well. Over here, it looks like our... Oh, hey, Aiman, what you doing?
Watering the vegetables.
Yes.
Flowers.
Soon, when we have the irrigation system, my mom won't have to do that. Or maybe my mom likes doing that. Maybe we shouldn't do the irrigation. Oh, we'll see. Our garlic, I think, is growing well. Our lemongrass in the back there also seems like it's growing a bit well. We're also doing a progress video on that lemongrass, so go check that out. And over here, it looks like all the plants are doing well. Alright, so the reason that I'm over here is actually for you guys to get a better look of the blueberries I mentioned earlier. Yeah, we usually get our blueberries from places like ShopRite and stuff, but now we can actually eat our own blueberries. And hopefully, unlike the strawberries, they're going to be sweet, so that we can use them. Oh wow, that's a lot of blueberries. Over here, in these totes, you can see that we have some more peppers, but these totes are supposed to carry compost. And they are carrying compost right now. But my mom just has so many pepper plants that she decided to plant the peppers inside of the compost. Oh, I forgot to mention, I mentioned this in my previous video, we're also planning on building a sort of storage for all of our tools in this section of the garden so that we can reach them from this side of the garden or this fence and this side of the fence. So, hopefully in the future we should be able to show you that, but for now, it's just an idea. Let's go to the front now. Alright, so we're at the front, and this is actually where we're going to end the video. Over here we have our double knockout roses, but they're the red variant, not the pink variant. As you can see, they're also growing quite nicely. I don't think my dad did the... Wait, I think... Did my dad? Okay, according to my dad, who is recording right now, he did not do the slant trimming like he did with the pink double knockout roses. As you can see, it looks like they're growing quite well. These ones are pretty. I don't really have anything else to say about them that I didn't say about the pink knockout roses. Over here, we have a pile of compost. And that was actually a gift to us from Uncle An, who wanted to give back to us, and he decided to get us a lot of compost because, you know, we're gardeners. Our town is actually one of the few cities where you can actually get compost for free from one of the compost sites. However, Uncle An actually got it delivered to us, which does cost money. I think it cost around $50 for this pile. So it was a very good gift. This was a lot of compost. Usually what would happen in the past is we had like a huge minivan that we would actually shovel compost into, and then we transport it back home. But now our minivan broke down, so now we have to get it delivered. Or we get like a tiny amount in an SUV. But now we have compost for gardening, so that's a pretty nice gift. Thank you, Uncle An, even though you're not watching this, but thank you. Also, we have our cats over there. We have Burton and Irelia. Usually they come to me during the videos. They're actually coming to me before we took the shot, but I guess they're just lying there. Over here we have these trees that, over here they don't need to be trimmed, but on the other side in the garden, they do need to be trimmed because they're blocking the shade for some of our plants. So in order to do that, we've actually bought a new chainsaw, but it's better described as a pole saw because it's on a pole. So I'm going to do a video on that. Check it out and I'll see you there. But for now, we're going to end this video in the front. So as you can see, our azaleas are done blooming. So now after this, we're going to trim it to be a bit more round and make it a bit more nice. And then behind me, you gotta be careful with the sound. But over here we have our Japanese maple. I'm pretty sure this is the, what's it called? The blood red Japanese maple? It's very weird name, but this doesn't look blood red, it's purple. So it is kind of weird. But over there, we have our regular maple that's also growing quite nicely. And I think these are actually pretty good pieces for the front of our house. And it's a good place to end the video on. So I'm Aiman, and thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and look at other videos on EyeOnAiman. Especially, keep a lookout for the videos where I update you on the transformation of my mom's garden, 2020. And I'll see you there. But for now, I'll see you next week. So, signing off. Peace.